From the Delaware Diamond in Newark, this is the Conference USA Softball Championship on ESPN Plus. As our Day 2 quadruple header begins, the champs are here. Top-seeded Jacksonville State plays its first game this week against our 4th-seeded hosts from Delaware. Taking a look at our bracket, 4 fun games yesterday, so 2 teams eliminated as the field solidified and our double elimination format continues. And hi, everybody. I'm Matt Janis alongside Dorian Shaw. Dorian, Jacksonville State really deserved to be the regular season champs. They enjoyed a dominant regular season and are excited for this week to begin.
Jacksonville State is a team that gets it done on all sides of the ball. They're great in the circle, they're great at the plate, and they have solid defense to go with it. And so they're bringing a lot of firepower into this conference tournament.
Now they'll have to deal with the host team, Delaware, which got a big-time win yesterday, outlasting New Mexico State.
Yeah, it was a late-night slugfest under the lights last night. Delaware able to put together a lot of offense, got performances all up and down the lineup, but specifically a standout, Maddie Diamond, bringing a lot of power from the plate.
Not one but 2 home runs set the Delaware freshman home run record. Speaking of sensational freshmen, how about Jacksonville State's McKenna Moore?
McKenna Moore having a tremendous freshman campaign. She's got a super low ERA, great movement on her rise ball, which mystifies a lot of offenses, leading her to be pitcher and freshman of the year.
2 terrific rookies, 2 sensational teams, and it should be a good one when we return. Starting lineups, first pitch, it's Jacksonville State and Delaware. Diamond getting set for the first of 4 games today. 4th-seeded Delaware against the regular season champs that are top-seeded Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Blue Hens offense, which is feeling confident after plating 11 runs yesterday. A little change in the order. Maddie Diamond moves up from the 5 slot to the 4 slot. Some protection for Sydney Schaefer.
Definitely, but Delaware got production all up and down the lineup yesterday. 2 home runs from Maddie Diamond in the 5 spot, a home run from Bridget Chapman to extend the lead in the 8 spot. So they're definitely rolling and they're feeling good today.
Top of the order set the tone as well, getting on base, but they will have a tall task here this afternoon. McKenna Moore, a dynamic ace.
McKenna Moore has great stuff. She works up in the zone a lot to finish batters, feeds her defense really well, really composed for just a freshman, and obviously got all conference honors to go along with the work that she's put together so far this year.
Very deservedly so, and so the regular season champs begin their week. They earn the double bye to reach this point. They face a Delaware team that got confidence yesterday, and we are set to play ball as Allie Nankiville takes a strike as we are underway. Nankiville on base 3 times, 4 successful plate appearances in that game yesterday. 1 bunt base hit, 1 sacrifice. Tries to slap this one, and it goes foul, and she's buried 0-2.
Allie Nankiville just off to a really hot, scorching start for her career. She's doing a really nice job, and we've talked about this in the broadcast before. She's missing a tool. She doesn't really power slap very much, and so the defense, you can see how tight they are playing, but she still figures out a way to find her way on base through that.
Also improving her eye as she works a lot of walks consequently, despite that lack of power. 1 ball and 2 strikes to her here. Moore is not somebody that will walk a ton of batters. She's very precise, works ahead in the count, and her confidence just continues to grow with every outing. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Nankiville. She ranks 2nd in CUSA in ERA, 3rd in batting average against, 4th in Ks, 8th in innings pitched. She just does everything well. On a full count here to Nankiville. So from buried to full, and a good battle here to start the day.
And that's what both of these offenses are going to want out of that leadoff spot, is just an opportunity to get as many looks on the pitcher as you can, see what they're going to throw in 2-strike counts, see what they're going to throw for expansion pitches, and try to have a competitive at-bat.
Good spoil to stay alive. It is going to be a windy day again at the Delaware Diamond. You can see it in our open, our hair blowing all over the place, and it's even picked up since then. But it's straight across the field, right to left, and sustained about 15 to 20 miles per hour. They were saying the gusts could get as high as 25 miles per hour this afternoon. And a swing and a miss, so Moore has to work, but wins the battle and starts the day with a K. Looking to go the other way. Nankiville comes up empty, so it brings up Katie Shivert. Shivert, second baseman, righty hitter. Second team All-CUSA selection. Looks downstairs, ball 1. Well, obviously these teams didn't play during the regular season, so each getting their first look at the other. Great pitcher, really good offense. Which side does that favor more?
The side that adjusts the fastest, I guess. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think the lack of familiarity between both of these programs is something that both coaching staffs are taking into consideration when they're strategizing, but I think both sides needing to be ready to make changes and make adjustments as soon as they see maybe their strategy is hitting hiccups or maybe hitting bumps in the road.
Emma Elrod had to make a couple adjustments in the air as that ball was blowing all over the place. Looked like it would be Phillips' ball off the bat, but good job by Elrod to come in and help out. 2 down, bases empty. Sydney Schaefer is the batter, looks at ball 1. The defense behind Moore, J.C. Underwood is at third. Aria Davis, the shortstop. Ashley Phillips at second base. Kaylee Martin at first with McKaylin Kaiser behind the plate. And it's 2 balls and no strikes here to Schaefer, who had a hit yesterday. First team All-CUSA selection. Led the team during the regular season home runs. Got passed yesterday by her freshman teammate, Maddie Diamond. And it's 2-1 to Schaefer. The outfield left to right, Haley Cushenberry, Morgan Nowakowski, and the aforementioned Elrod. As you see them respecting the power of Cindy Schaefer playing on the warning track across the board.
They are nearly as deep as you can get.
And she hits it in the air, shallow left center field. Cushenberry comes forward, squeezes the leather, and that's a 1-2-3 inning turned in from McKenna Moore. So good job by the regular season champs, stymieing a hot Delaware offense. And now the Gamecocks will get a turn at the plate when we come back.
When it comes to the health of you and your family, you want to trust in having the best partner for your well-being. Ranked a top hospital in the region, that's exactly what you'll find at ChristianaCare. Because you deserve excellence from your physician, specialists, nurses, and staff, with safe and convenient ways to get the care you need. And at ChristianaCare, we add in something special: love. It's at the heart of everything we do, and we do it all for the love of health. Your health.
Hey, grab me one too.
After a half inning scoreless, Jacksonville State's offense takes the turn for the first time this weekend here in this Conference USA Softball Championship. And good luck finding a weakness in this order. They lead the league in on-base percentage, top half of the conference in virtually every category, including hits, slugging, and OPS. It's impressive.
Emma Elrod anchors this lineup at the top, but she's getting a lot of help from Kaylee Martin and Michaela Kaiser further down in the lineup, and so they have hot spots all through the lineup, as you mentioned.
They lost only 3 conference games all season long. 2 of them came against lefties, so Delaware hands the ball to their lefty, Josie Crossman.
Josie Crossman still on the rise. Did a nice job last night with New Mexico State's batters and that strong lineup, and so Delaware's going to run her back out today and see what she can do.
The Blue Hens ace fires her first pitch and misses upstairs to Emma Elrod. Jim Cooper calls the balls and strikes today. Hartley Hines, the first base umpire. John West is at third base. A 3-person CUSA umpiring crew. Up and in, almost near the head there of Elrod, who dipped back out of the way. And Crossman trying to find it early. Remember, it was an adventurous opening inning. As you see, the CUSA dominance from Emma Elrod this year. The OPS in 4 figures. That's always a good sign. Three and nothing to Elrod, but Crossman had the bases loaded, nobody out of the first inning in yesterday's game.
Yeah, she was able to work herself out of that jam, and we were talking before the game that maybe that was the little like pressure keg that Delaware needed to get some confidence, was getting out of that big inning. And so looks like, you know, Josie Crossman's going to make it interesting to start game 2 for the Blue Hens, but we'll see what she can work herself out of here.
See how much leeway she has to going second time in as many days. And that'll be something to keep an eye on for the Blue Hens. Elrod aboard, and here comes Morgan Nowakowski for Jacksonville State. Talk about somebody that means a lot to a program. Nowakowski has been a stalwart for this Gamecock offense all 4 of her years, as Elrod starts and stops down there at first base, and strike 1 from Crossman. Nowakowski, 4-year starter, leads the nation in doubles, top 10 in the conference in run scores, hits, and at-bats. And a ball to strike as she's able to check her swing. She is vulnerable to the double play, though. She leads the conference in ground ball double plays this year. But that's pretty much the only wart on her resume. She is fantastic.
And I'm sure Josie Crossman and Delaware would love to get one of those tailor-made double plays in this at-bat to start this inning.
Fouls it back, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nowakowski. Second team all-conference selection, unquestioned leader of this group, both emotionally and physically. Tried to paint the outside corner, couldn't quite find it. Schaefer was looking to help with the frame. Crossman knew it, smile on her face as it's 2-2.
And that's a good pitch for Josie Crossman, right? It's not too sweet in the 2-strike count, trying to make it look tempting to the batter. Nowakowski, just a seasoned hitter, doesn't bite.
Now fouled away. Jacksonville State, the balance of this order is something Crossman has to keep in mind. You know, a lot of offenses are tough at the top, and Jacksonville State certainly is. But you look up and down this order, there's no easy sledding for opposing pitchers. That's how you win 42 of your 55 regular season games. As another foul ball.
Certainly, it's going to be a tall task for this Delaware defense to stay on their toes throughout the entire game. As you mentioned, you can't really take a batter off, and so the mental preparation here are going to be a big factor.
The player-led team. As a liner pass first into right field for a base hit. Elrod can fly, but a good job by Chapman to get on it in a hurry. So she stops at second base, but 2 on, nobody out right away for Jacksonville State.
We're curious coming into this game how Jacksonville State was going to look and feel, what their energy was going to be like, knowing that they had that double bye and they've been sitting in the hotel practicing, you know, here and there locally, but not able to get in a game. And so they are coming out firing on all cylinders right now.
Here's Amber Reed showing bunt, and going halfway to third base was Elrod. Shivert snuck into cover, but Schaefer doesn't want to take a chance, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to Reed. Now they're going to appeal. She did not go. Reed, more impressive numbers for this Jacksonville State offense. We weren't lying about what they have done statistically. 360 average as she lines it foul and out of play. Swati, Georgia native, in her second year as a full-time starter. Got some time her freshman season, kind of in and out of the starting lineup. Played as both a pitcher and a batter early in her career, but now focusing exclusively in the batter's box as she takes ball 2 from Crossman.
And you talked about how strong this lineup is, top to bottom, and the outstanding numbers from a lot of these offensive players. The conference has been so competitive. Those all-conference teams, man, it is hard to break your way into one of those because the numbers have been so strong conference-wide.
The player that led the league in home runs, Reagan Marchant, did not make either of the first 2 teams. That'll give you an idea of just how deep this league is offensively this year. A 2-ball, 2-strike count to Reed. Delaware facing the toughest in the conference on this stage as a ground ball to shortstop. And Gallucci going to go to third, gets the out. So Reed can run instead of trying to turn 2. She gets the lead runner, and the Blue Hens will take it.
I like that choice. I think you've just got to keep runners off of third base, particularly when you don't have 2 outs. I think in this scenario with 1 out, she can go for the inning-ending double play if she gets another ground ball, but I think a smart choice to go for the 1 out there.
You get the sure thing. Good job by Diamond coming over to cover. And now Kaylee Martin will be the hitter for Jacksonville State. Off speed from Crossman. She's not missing by much, but just off a tad here in the early going.
Yeah, and that top of the first is always, you know, it's an operation of, bottom of the first, but the first inning is always an operation to figure out what the zone is going to look like, what the umpire is going to give you, what the umpire is going to give the hitter, and how your pitches work into that.
It's funny you say that, as that one misses outside. Delaware coaching staff was talking before the game about how it does feel a little bit different being at home, but not being the home team, just out of routine a tiny bit.
Yeah, it caught me out of routine a little bit as well.
Although I think the other teams would argue that they're much more out of routine with all the travel involved. As a 2-0 just misses again, and it's 3 balls and no strikes here to Martin. It's funny, though, when you host one of these tournaments, you do have to change your regular routine. You don't get the same time in your facilities, in your cage, on the field. And some of the Delaware players were mystified by that fact as a 3-0 finds a zone for strike one. And Jen Steele said the coaching staff had to explain, well, we're the host team, but we're not the home team. There is a difference.
Yeah, a nice distinction there.
Right now, the host team dealing with the regular season champs, threatening early. And the 3-1 misses a 5-pitch free pass. Second walk of the game doled out by Crossman. And they're loaded with only one out here in the first.
Again, back to the zone, right? Very consistent so far in this contest. But the Delaware crowd starting to murmur a little bit of their disagreement.
Crossman trying to find it on the fly. Here's Aria Davis. Little fisted line drive towards second base. Played on a hop. Can't get the tag. They get the out at first, but a run comes home. So it'll be an RBI ground out for Aria Davis as Shiver tried to tag Martin running by but missed. And Jacksonville State leads 1-0.
It's a tough play there. A little bit of an inside-out job with a lot of spin on it. Katie Shivert, nice job handling the play. Looking like she's trying to make a little bit of contact, maybe get a 2-for-1 on that one, but it didn't work out that way. Still able to get that second out.
Davis able to put just enough spin to get that to flutter before it came down. Here's Kaiser taking low and outside. Ball one to the Jacksonville State catcher. Kaiser, third-year starter behind the plate. She has been on a power surge down the stretch that helped her earn second-team all-conference honors. 5 of her 10 home runs in the final month of the season. And ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Matter of fact, not just the final month, since April the 18th for McKaylin Kaiser. And one of the reasons she's been able to find that power lately, they said she stopped trying to hit the home run as a 2-0 comes in for a strike. Focused on making contact. The coaching staff said she's plenty strong enough. The contact will go a long way.
Yeah, sometimes when you're over swinging, you have some mechanical changes that pop up or technical changes that pop up. And when you can just be a little bit looser and let, your body sequence do what it normally does, you get better results.
In the air, center field, pretty well struck, but the park going to hold it. Nankiville makes the grab in front of the warning track. So Delaware able to limit damage. The regular season champs get on the board, but Josie Crossman holds them to a single score. After one, Delaware trails by a run. Jacksonville State showing why they were the regular season champs right away, getting on the board as they start their week at this Conference USA Softball Championship after the double bye, taking on the host Delaware Blue Hens, who went down in order in the first. Maddie Diamond, who had the big day yesterday, leads off the second and takes low and inside in a battle of 2 fantastic freshmen. Diamond 3 hits in that game, including a pair of homers. And went oppo and to dead center. She didn't get cheated on either one. Still trying to work her away, and it's 2 balls, no strikes to Diamond. When you get to this stage and you see as many games as we will this week, the individual matchups sometimes stand out. And 2 talented rookies going toe-to-toe is what it's all about. And right now, it's Diamond ahead of the count 3-0.
And these are the types of matchups that get people excited for the conference to come in future years. They'll be able to play against each other and see this matchup for the next 3 years, hopefully, right? And be able to see them go back and forth and battle offensively and in the circle.
So 3-1 to Diamond. Maddie, 17 home runs. No freshman in the history of this Delaware program has hit more. She tied the record in the regular season finale and broke it yesterday. And she takes high a 5-pitch free pass. And the first base runner for Delaware starts the second inning.
First baseman, Gianna Costaro.
So here's Costaro. She slides down a slot in the order as Moore doles out her first walk. Gianna, right-handed hitting first baseman with some pop. They play in at the corners. She pops it up and out of play, first base side. Costaro had a hit, also drove in a run, sac fly, didn't go very far, only to shortstop. In fact, it was a remarkable play by Carranza from New Mexico State, a diving catch to take away a blue pit from Gianna, who looks at strike 2 on the inside edge.
Yeah, and that play last night, Gianna was the beneficiary of Allie Nankiville's speed at third base, being able to take that run from New Mexico State.
Buried 0-2. And almost hits her in the knee. A ball and 2 strikes to Costaro. This is where Delaware, as they played better down the stretch, found some lineup balance here. Second half of the season, they were so reliant in the early going on the top portion of their order. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Costaro. In fact, this Delaware lineup has been full of moving pieces this year.
Definitely has, and while that doesn't give comfort to a coaching staff that likes to have the consistency of the same lineup, what it does allow is for multiple players in the dugout to stay fresh and have game experience as they go through the season. So there aren't, multiple weeks where you're going without an opportunity to have an at-bat or play some defense, and it keeps everybody sharp.
That one catches Costaro, and the Jacksonville State coaching staff will come out and ask for an explanation because it has to cross through the batter's box in order to be eligible for a hit by pitch, and that was as close as they come.
Certainly, and Gianna Costaro, her first move sometimes brings her into the path of the ball with that back knee, and so she does wear a lot of pitches on that back knee. But we'll get a look at it, see if whether or not it was in the box with her.
Julie Bolin was immediately out. Remember, on the earlier pitch, that same movement. Sometimes it does look like Castaro's leaning in to try to take the pitch, but that's pretty much her move every time. Long conversation here between our umpiring crew. Be hard to see anyone else getting a better view of that than our home plate umpire. He's right on top of it. The umpires off to the side at first and third base, respectively, as we look again. It's close, but Delaware will get the hit batter call maintained. So 2 on, nobody out for Sorella Gallucci. So after a clean first, Moore dealing with some traffic. Gallucci tries to bunt it in the air, and a good job. Kaiser sheds the mask and makes the catch. Out of the crouch quickly for out number 1.
Nice job by Kaiser being at the ready, hopping out of the crouch, getting rid of the mask, making the catch on the run. Nice job from the catcher.
Gallucci knew it right away. That facial expression spoke 1,000 words. And Kaiser able to take care of it, so no situational success for Delaware. And now Kaylin Blazes taking a strike on the inside corner. Blazes, 2 doubles in yesterday's game, going gapping both times and showing off her speed. She doesn't look like a power hitter, but she's got some pop as she hits this one foul third base side. Rail thin, long legs, long arms, which helps her in the field, but she keeps getting stronger and stronger at the plate.
Kaylin's had a lot of growth over the course of this season, and I know when the coaching staff recruited her, they knew that she had that power potential plus the speed, right? And so the better she develops in the weight room and in the program, the more they're going to be able to rely on both of those components.
Moore back in front after she pitched from behind to Maddie Diamond and then lost Costaro to the hit batter. That was the common refrain in the top of the first from the Jacksonville State starter. As a Liberty team, which will play next, making its way into the Delaware Diamond. As that one fouled back and out of play by Blazes. 4 games today, another quadruple header. Then we'll play 3 tomorrow before a champion is decided on Saturday here in Newark, Delaware. So strap in, we aren't going anywhere for a while. Blazers will pop this one foul and out of play. I'm Matt Janice with Dorian Shaw, our entire ESPN Plus crew. We appreciate you making us a part of your early afternoon.
Another good freshman matchup here, Kaylin Blazes and McKenna Moore, one that we'll get to watch in the future.
Change up, pop to the air, left side. Davis able to retreat and make the grab. So a nice change of speeds from Moore, and after she got herself into her own pickle, is poised to try to work her way out of it here with 2 down, and Bridget Chapman coming up.
Yeah, caught Kaylin Blazes just a little bit out in front. She was in a good position to hit it from a body perspective, but timing was just a little bit off.
Moore, not comfortable, steps off, has to go back through the process again as Bridget Chapman comes up, launched a 3-run homer yesterday and fouls this one straight back. Chapman, who just willed her way into the starting lineup this season. Delaware coaching staff said before the year we had to find her a spot. She did everything we asked her to do and then some. Thought about first base with Costaro coming back from the injury, but Gianna was back in time, so they gave her some run in the outfield, and she earned her way into the starting spot as it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Chapman.
Bridget's a whatever it takes kind of kid. She's got a team-first mindset, and that allowed her to make a smooth transition out into the outfield. She really just wanted to be a sponge, soak up all the technique and defensive pointers from Coach Amy Belisari, and she's done a good job of making good on her opportunities.
Speaking of good jobs, Moore gets the jam job foul and is a strike away from working out of this spot unscathed. It was first and second, nobody out, a 5-pitch walk to Maddie Diamond, and then grazing Gianna Costaro with the pitch. But back-to-back pop-ups, and now has Chapman down in the count. The 1-2 for the righty ace is popped up, back and out of play, and Chapman stays alive. Sun out, getting a little warmer here at the Delaware Diamond. Not as warm as it was yesterday. And for Jacksonville State, you can see all the long sleeves. It feels much colder than the temperature actually reads. They're used to the warmer temperatures this time of year. Grounder deep in the hole. Diving play by Davis. Goes to third, but late. Diamond hustling, gets there just in time. But what an effort from Aria Davis.
Nice job by Davis to keep that ball in the infield. I'm not sure how aggressive Coach Steele is feeling today, but if that gets through, there is a chance that Maddie Diamond takes a turn and tries to go home. And so Aria Davis doing a nice job of keeping that run from scoring.
Yeah, that was a tough spot there for Diamond because off the bat, she probably assumed that was going through, and you could see her start to widen to turn third base, and that almost cost her, but good hustle to get there safely. Now Ellie Monaghan pops up the first pitch left side. Underwood making the call and the catch, and Jacksonville State escapes the bases loaded jam. What a job by McKenna Moore. 3 pop-ups, and Delaware leaves them loaded. Gamecocks up a run. Time for the second inning. Delaware coaching staff lamenting an opportunity caught by the wayside as the Hens leave the bases loaded. Jen Steele in her 8th season in charge of this Blue Hen program. Full disclosure, you worked this alongside Coach Steele for a long time, but you've had a lot of conversations with her, and you know that what she has done to try to build this program to be able to compete first year in Conference USA.
Yeah, one of the things about Coach Steele, you know, she's uncompromising on her expectations, and so they communicate that really clearly in the recruiting process and the onboarding process for these athletes of how they're going to operate. What is the Delaware softball way? And all of these athletes do such a good job of buying in and furthering that culture with their actions and their communication and their leadership.
Abby Phillips leading off the second inning for Jacksonville State. Phillips taking low and outside, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike from Josie Crossman. The other thing I've been very impressed with over the years with this Delaware staff and program as a whole, it truly is a family feel. A lot of programs talk about that. Delaware coaching staff almost all bring their kids out to all the games, a lot of the practices. They're all the time around the team, on the field. The players treat the kids like $1 million, and that just forges that further family feel. You see the numbers for Phillips.
And I think that'll be a big factor as Delaware tries to expand their recruiting footprint, right? Making sure that players that come into this program feel like they have somewhere where they can belong and they can feel at home. And hopefully they like kids because they do bring their kids around the program. But I think for those players, you know, like Josie Crossman coming from Georgia and some of our players that are from further distances away, maybe don't get to see their families all the time, they still have that family feel.
Here's Phillips, the Alexandria, Alabama native. At 2-2, got tired of waiting on Crossman. Phillips, who's been a mainstay in this lineup for Jacksonville State the last 3 seasons, dealt with some injuries her freshman year. As this one popped up right side, Castaro battling the sun and the wind, able to make the catch as she staggers underneath for out number 1.
A couple of high fly balls for our last 2 outs. One on the left side, one on the right side, cranking them into the sky.
So I'll bring up J.C. Underwood. Underwood, right-handed, hitting third baseman. And strike 1 from Crossman. Jacksonville State was able to work ahead in the count in that first inning, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Besides the power up and down this order, they work a ton of hitters' counts, and they will wait you out until you throw strikes.
Josie Crossman doing a nice job here. I was just looking at Underwood's right foot. She is square in that back tight corner, so she is on the plate. Josie Crossman doing a good job of working the strike zone as it is, you know, favorable to the inside part of the plate for righties and doing a nice job of attacking that spot.
Tried for the outside corner, went outside, inside, outside. Missed that time, and it's 1-2. Underwood finished regular season relatively strong. Hits in 4 of her last 5 games. As a coaching staff called her a character, and she brings character to this Jacksonville State lineup as it's 2-2 to the sophomore. Full count, so Crossman worked ahead. Didn't miss by much on any of the last 3 pitches, but good layoffs from Underwood, and we're back full. Wind, by the way, which had been whipping 20 miles an hour, is dead calm at the moment. It's going to be one of those days at the Delaware Diamond. As that's lined to short, off the glove of Galucci, and it trickles into left center. A base hit for Underwood.
Good at bat by Underwood, just continuing to battle throughout this until she got a pitch that she liked, and Sorella Galucci gave it everything she had. Full extension on that attempt, but couldn't hang on with the catch.
Got cheated a step that way, almost got there instead. Second hit of the game for Jacksonville State. Here's Cushing-Berry showing bunt and taking strike 1 from Crossman.
Underwood at first base, she's a steal threat, so we'll see Jacksonville State. Coach Bolin decides to get a little bit creative with the base running.
Bunt goes foul, third base side. Cushingberry buried in the count, 0-2. You saw that big disparity between her batting average and her on-base percentage. Almost 200 points for Cushingberry. She just wills her way on base. A lot of walks, gets hit by some pitches, good bunter. Anything it takes. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And even when she's buried, as we saw a moment ago from J.C. Underwood, they don't give up on ABs.
And that's such an asset to have in your 9-hole, being able to flip the lineup over and get on base and set the table for those big boppers at the top of the lineup.
Just miss. Crossman looking to get that outside corner, but just getting a tad greedy and cannot get home plate umpire Jim Cooper to bite. Dealing with the sharp set of eyes from this Jacksonville offense, as you mentioned. Emma Elrod at the top, Wade on deck. As a little punch shot back side of third, it's going to be Galucci who makes the catch.
What I will say, Josie Crossman, just a sophomore, she's doing a good job maintaining her emotional composure and her body language when she's not getting those calls. She's shrugging it off and going right back to work, and that's what you want to see if you're a Delaware coach or someone in the dugout, is your pitcher leading from the circle that way.
Elrod takes a strike as that one came back. Emma worked to walk her first time up. Georgia native, passionate about hitting. In fact, that's all she wants to talk about during the softball season. As the pitch comes just a little bit outside. It's almost like she's an extra assistant coach. She delves so deep into the strategy and the science of hitting. She's constantly sending YouTube clips and new drills that she finds online as ideas to the coaching staff. As that one's turned on, roped down the line and left, it twists foul.
Coaching staffs love having an extra set of eyes and hands in their players, right? Ones that are interested in the craft, right? Interested in learning the why and the reasoning and just trying to understand, have greater understanding, because those are the hitters that can make better adjustments. They can adjust themselves in the box without having to be coached every pitch of the game, and so it makes it a lot easier for them to be able to have success.
She gets plucked here, so 2 on with 2 down as the inning continues for Jacksonville State. Schaefer will head out to the circle. Jen Steele will join the conference for a conversation here amongst the Delaware battery. Another tight spot here for Crossman. Has to deal with Nowakowski, who singled against her first time up. Gave up a run in the opening inning. Actually did a good job to hold Jacksonville State to just a single score after they loaded the bases with only 1 out. But this is what it's like facing the Gamecocks. Talk to the other coaches around this league. You hear analogies like dentist office and things like that, where it's just constant annoyance and pressure, and eventually they are able to just kind of overflow things on you, and that's how you win 24 out of 27 in conference.
Certainly, and it's going to be a high task for Josie Crossman to kind of lock back in and limit the free passes when you're facing a team that is as well-rounded as Jack State with the success they've had this season. You don't want to give them extra opportunities. So these extra at-bats, these extra pitches that she's allowing their offense to see with these free passes are definitely something that I know Coach Steele is going to want to see Josie Crossman limit.
So now Nowakowski, the batter, the Huntsville, Alabama native. Chance to build on the lead early for the Gamecocks. Their first game of the week. And Crossman comes back for a strike, 0-1. Well, Jen Steele, not only the head coach for this Delaware team, but also the pitching coach, and knows how dangerous Nowakowski can be up there offensively. Want to make sure that Crossman was ready as a three-quarters cut goes too far, and whatever Steele said seems to be working and registering with Crossman so far.
Just a little mental reset there for Josie Crossman. Get her back attacking the hitters and getting ahead.
She's got Nowakowski buried, but can she finish her off? The 0-2 offering. Same strategy, and it's just not working right now for Josie Crossman.
We're in the bottom of the second, and we're still trying to get a sense for where the zone is. That pitch looked like it was working against righties, maybe not as effective against lefties. Just trying to figure out where we're working.
Fouled back. Good battle from Nowakowski to stay alive. That's the third time this inning she's been ahead of the batter 0-2 or 1-2 and tried to paint that outside corner. Thought she got it, just didn't quite find the zone. They're borderline pitches, but he continues to not call them. You can't argue with the consistency. That one much further outside. The count level's 2-2. Not only Nowakowski an excellent softball player, also an excellent student. All academic team selection, 4.0 GPA. Wants to work in healthcare. As she lines this one foul and out of play the other way. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nowakowski.
I would like my healthcare professional to have had a 4.0 GPA as well. So
Like,
kudos to her. I'll come find her in a couple of years when I need a primary care physician.
Nowakowski, who has been through so much in terms of her health over the course of her life, something that we will talk about in greater length over the course of this tournament, but she knows how important healthcare professionals are as she pops this one up right side. Foul ground, give it a look, but running out of room, Sydney Schaefer. But you're right, if there's one field that you want somebody to know their stuff, it's healthcare. That and maybe your tax account. Underwood is at second base. Elrod at first. Jacksonville State's going to run in the first to take the lead. Looking to add to it here in the second. But now Nowakowski got tired of waiting on Crossman. Good changeup, but a better spoil by Nowakowski.
It's quite a battle by both parties here. Josie Crossman working a couple different pitches. Nowakowski just fighting them off.
Fun when you can almost watch the gears for both grinding out there. As you can see them trying to figure each other out on the fly. First time either has seen the other this season. They didn't play in the regular season. And it's 3-2 to Nowakowski. That'll mean a head start for the runners. With good speed on the base pass for Jacksonville State. Payoff coming. And a line drive into center field for a base hit. It bounces away from Nankiville. 1 run will score. Elrod being waved around. She scores. Nowakowski going to third as the throw gets away. And it's 3-0 Jacksonville State. And hold on a second. That one got into the dugout. Will they give Nowakowski home? Yes, they will. 4-0 Gamecocks.
Wow, that play fell apart for the Delaware defense. Nowakowski doing a great job of battling through that at-bat, forcing Josie Crossman to throw her something that she can get her barrel on, and well struck to center field, and then a couple of just misplayed moments. Shot into center, misplayed there by Allie Nankiville on the hop. Ellie Mulligan, just a little bit of hesitation with Emma Elrod. Short hops Sydney Schaefer, and then the backup on the opposite side, not able to get it before it rolls into the dugout. And so that becomes a dead ball, which does allow Nowakowski to score.
You could see when Mulligan picked that one up, she was unsure right away where to throw the ball, and then she rushed the throw, and the two things compounding upon each other. And so an error on the center fielder and the left fielder there, and two on the same play, And 4-0 Jacksonville State as it's 0-1 to Amber Reed. So it was 2 out, runner at first. Crossman got ahead of 2 straight hitters, 0-2, and couldn't finish either off. Hit Emma Elrod, and then Nowakowski the big hit, and the defense then letting Crossman down as she bounces back to hit ahead of Reed, 0-2. But it's fouled out of play, and this is what Jacksonville State does. You give them any glimmer of light, and they tear it apart at the seams and take advantage.
Yeah, 2 of those 4 runs that have come across to score were free bases that Jacksonville State earned.
And this time Crossman earns a strikeout to end the inning, but not before the Gamecocks strike. Back to the drawing board for Delaware as the regular season champs have jumped all over them. The defensive miscues along with the clutch hit of Nowakowski allowing Jacksonville State to score 3 and go up 4-0.
Proud to partner with Conference USA with over 590.
So good for the regular season champs. Jacksonville State leading Delaware 4-0. Julie Bolin, center your screen, actually being covered up by Jen Steele. So the head coach stealing the limelight right there. But there is Bolin in her second year in charge of this Jacksonville State program. It is never easy to follow a legend, and that's obviously what Bolin was charged with. Is she had to follow the footsteps of Janet McGinnis, the Hall of Fame coach. But Bolin has gotten off to a fantastic start. She was such an important part of the success on McGinnis' staff. And what a feel she has inside of this Jacksonville State program.
Yeah, it's really nice when you get to kind of continue the foundational pieces, right, that have been put in place. And so you don't have to learn new recruits. There are already kids that you've recruited. You don't have to put in new standards. They're standards that you've been working with for a number of years. And so now Coach Bolin gets to put her own special twist on it, but the foundational pieces certainly were there.
Grounded is short from Nankiville, and a good job by Davis. Got to play shallow against Nankiville's speed. Davis was and able to get the out, 1 down. Was Jacksonville State program, their entire starting lineup, homegrown, as you watch the last grounder that Davis took care of. In the era of the transfer portal, I mean, you just don't see that anymore. Not a single player that came from a different school. All homegrown talent for the Gamecocks.
Really impressive, and speaks to the longevity of Jana McGinnis and Julie Boland and that coaching staff being able to stay together, recruit together, retain their players. I think it's a huge deal to be able to have that type of a lineup.
Busy inning for Aria Davis. Back-to-back ground balls makes them both look easy as Nankiville and Shivert retired in succession. And McKenna Moore doing a great job against the dangerous top of this Delaware order. Combined 0 for 5 their first 2 trips. Sydney Schaefer, the batter, lied out to left field her first time, and watch this one bounce up there from Moore. Fluence did threaten in the second, loaded the bases, but a diving play by Davis kept a run from scoring. Then they got out of the bases loaded jam on a pop-up. Schaefer pops this one up right side. Who wants it? Martin and Kaiser converge. Kaiser makes the catch, and the inning comes to a close. A quick 1-2-3 frame turned in from McKenna Moore. She's rolling. So are the Gamecocks.
Being strong doesn't mean going through it alone.
Mental health matters, just like physical health.
It's okay to feel overwhelmed.
It's okay to ask for help.
Talking to someone can change everything.
Your mind needs care too.
No shame, no stigma, just support.
We're teammates on and off the field.
Your story matters.
You are not alone.
We see you, we support you.
Let's break the silence together.
Mental health is part of the game. Let's continue the
Conversation.
What if the spark you've been chasing found the right place to catch fire? At Jacksonville State University, curiosity becomes action. Ideas get tested, shaped, and launched. Every challenge is a proving ground, and every day, another chance to rise. For dreamers, doers, difference makers, and those who want more than just the degree. Where learning, competing, and winning is a Jack's state of mind.
At the University of Delaware, our classrooms are idea incubators. Nearby beaches are our research laboratories. Our Blue Hen spirit leads to bold adventures. We learn, challenge, explore, and triumph together. Because here at UD, nothing is out of reach. No limits, all possibilities. The University of Delaware.
At the Delaware Diamond, the Conference USA Softball Championship this week. Quadruple header today. Delaware hosting a conference tournament for the first time since 2001 when they were back in the America East Conference. And Dorian, as the old saying goes, if you build it, they will come. Delaware refurbished this diamond, a 2-year project, put in all new turf, new lights, rebuilt the concourse and the facilities up here for the press box, brand new bullpen. As the first pitch found out of play by Kaylee Martin, and what do you know, postseason arrives.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a surprise that Conference USA accepted the bid by Delaware to host, but we had a nice facility and they wanted to show it off, and so Delaware getting the opportunity to host for the first time in a long time.
So Martin behind the count, 0-1, kind of an interesting situation with the regular season champs playing their first game of the postseason, and by happenstance, because Delaware has the 4 seed that won their first game yesterday, it's almost like a road game for Jacksonville State, as that one misses 2 balls and a strike. But I will say, impressive turnout. The Jacksonville State fans have come out in full force, as you see some right-handed activity going in the Delaware bullpen.
Yeah, good support. A lot of Jacksonville State fans traveling north, fans and family coming north for the tournament.
Tough play here for Chapman, trying to circle underneath, and the dive came just a little late, and it'll stay 2-2 to Martin. That was Kylie Wilkerson loosening in that pen. Let's watch the effort from Chapman.
Easy on the brand new pads there, Bridget.
She definitely leads. It feels like this Delaware team in dives, as she's always willing to give her body up. 2-2. Martin takes a little bit outside. That outside corner has not been there. Crossman keeps searching for it, and McKenna Moore has been dealing with the same on the other side. And Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks understand it and have been laying off that pitch on a loop as a little fisted line drive caught at shortstop by Galucci, and Martin retired, 1 away. So good pitch from Crossman. Starts the inning with an out. Galucci's been active over there at shortstop. Both shortstops busy in the early going. Here's Davis, who's been fantastic out there defensively for Jacksonville State. That diving play she made with 2 outs in the first inning, it might not be talked about much after this game, but it was an important one for momentum's sake.
definitely. And, Delaware starting to kind of get something going in terms of a rally, and her ability to keep that run from scoring gave McKenna Moore the chance to leave the bases loaded.
Now she's done in by her defensive counterpart as Gallucci on the charge, able to get her by a half stride. What a job by Sorella Gallucci.
Sorella Gallucci just continues to develop, growing the arm strength, understanding the angles over there at shortstop, and just the timing, right? You don't have a lot of time to make those kinds of plays when the runner in the box has good speed, and she's starting to figure that out.
Gallucci looks at her defensive counterpart, says anything you can do, I can do just as well, as Kaiser takes ball one from Crossman. Outfield playing deep with 2 outs, the bases empty. Kaiser's got power, 10 homers this year, as she watches one come outside, ball 2. Kaiser flied out to center her first time. Closed the regular season, 12 for her last 22 at the plate. And this one lifted a mile high in the air to right. Chapman coming. Ford makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning. First of the day from Josie Crossman. We will head to the bottom half of the third. 4-0. Delaware trailing.
Under Armour is proud to partner with Conference USA. Every team and athlete on our roster is united.
Inning, fantastic start for the regular season champs, and what a regular season it was for Jacksonville State. They unveiled the conference award winners earlier in the week, and when you go 24-3 in conference play, you expect to win a majority of the awards, and that's exactly what happened for the Gamecocks.
Jacksonville State really ran away with the regular season. They had clinched the regular season while multiple teams were still in a tie for second and third and fourth, essentially. And so they just had such a dominant season. It makes sense that the awards at the end of the season reflect that.
Elrod Player of the Year, Pitcher of the Year on the circle today, McKenna Moore. And, of course, the Coach of the Year as well, Julie Bolin, all well-deserved honors. A remarkable team, and Julie Bolin actually said to her staff between the regular season and the postseason, as they were kind of talking about the team and the year it was, as Maddie Diamond takes upstairs 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate this group, because this is as player-driven a team as you'll probably get your entire career. The responsibility these kids took for each other was off the charts, as Diamond too far out in front behind the count 1-2.
Really nice off-speed pitch there by Moore. She doesn't go to it a ton, which makes when she does use it that much more effective because hitters aren't expecting it.
There's that outside corner try that both pitchers have been vying for and unable to find here today. Diamond laying off, and it's 2-2. The 2 home runs yesterday for Diamond. And turns on this one, hooks it foul off the top of the fence in left. Not quite home run distance, but just about for Maddie Diamond.
I think not quite home run height.
That's fair.
I think it might have had distance if it hadn't run into the fence.
Did try to knock the fence down on its way over there. Boy, Diamond is so locked in right now. Had a big series against New Mexico State. Even better against Western Kentucky to close out the regular season. And now the 2 home runs to start her CUSA postseason career, and works the count full here against Moore. Patiently drew a 5-pitch free pass her first time, but was stranded at third base in Delaware's only threat in the second inning when they loaded the bases but could not push a run across. Diamond pops it up middle of the infield. Who wants it? Davis taking charge and making the catch for out number 1.
I fear for the athletic trainers. I think we may have some sore necks after the height of some of these fly balls today. They have been sky high all game.
Now they call them rainmakers, but on a bright, sunshiny day like this, I don't think you have to worry about any wet weather coming, although you do have to worry about fighting the sun maybe staring up into the sky looking for them. As here's Gianna Castaro, he hammers it foul, and look out. Those selling the souvenirs in left field just got a very big surprise as that ball landed right in their laps. Strike 1 to Castaro. Might have to get a lookout out there for those folks.
I know, they're totally blocked by the cages.
Of speed comes in for strike 2. Imagine just sitting there minding your own business, trying to make some money for Conference USA, and almost have a softball land in your lap. Good job by Moore yet again, bouncing right back to jump ahead of another hitter, 0-2. And again going for the outside corner, can't get Castaro to chase. A ball and 2 strikes. McKenna Moore, Green Valley, Missouri native, lives for her teammates. Jacksonville State coaching staff said there is nothing she enjoys more than being part of a team. As she gets Castaro to chase up the ladder, probably like that quite a bit, as the second strikeout of the game for the right-hander. So 2 up, 2 away. Colucci, the batter now for the Blue Hens. And Zarella fouls it straight back, strike 1. And this is what's dangerous as well. We talked about Jacksonville State's offense up and down, but when Moore gets rolling, early in the season, the coaching staff watched her pitch. They said, well, she's going to be good. She's going to be good. We have a chance at a really good one. And they said by the end of the year, the word "gonna" was out of that sentence. She just flat out is good as she's ahead of another hitter, 0-2.
Well, McKenna Moore, in her high school days, you know, travel ball wise, she competed at a really high level. And so she's faced potentially a lot of hitters in this conference already, but certainly a lot of high level offensive players. And she doesn't look like a freshman when she approaches, you know, pitching against good offenses. A good lineup here with Katie Shivert and Sydney Schaefer and Maddie Diamond. And she's staying composed and just sticking to her game plan. And that's where she's been able to find success.
And if the game plan calls for throwing strike 1 and strike 2, she is certainly sticking to that, just living ahead in the count. The 0-2 offering to Colucci is hit in the air, foul down the line and left, and off the top of the bullpen cover as Colucci gives it a ride, but out in front. She set the tone right away, did McKenna Moore. Fan 15 on February the 21st against DePaul. And that's when you realize they've got something, as that's fouled back. They were expecting her to be in the rotation, but she just took control of the ace role and turned into not just the best pitcher on Jacksonville State staff, but she's the Conference USA Pitcher of the Year. And yet, she seems unmoved by it all, as that's pop foul and out of play. Every time she wins an award, the coaching staff tries to go out of their way to make sure she gets a little taste of the limelight, gets some congratulations, and her reaction's never more than, "Thanks, Coach."
Gotta love a humble superstar.
especially getting this much limelight this soon. As a pop-up right side, that one is also going to get out of play. So Gallucci spraying the stands here in this at-bat, continuing to battle behind 0-2.
Sorella Gallucci doing whatever she can to keep this at-bat alive, and that's a huge asset for the Delaware lineup. Just being able to see somebody have success wasting pitches and extending the at-bat is going to be big for them as they go through the remainder of this game.
But outside, ball one. The other thing about Jacksonville State, not only do you have Moore as the ace, but you have Jalea Holmes, who's a former Conference Rookie of the Year, as your number 2, and she would be an ace on a lot of staff. So they've got pitching depth on top of all the offense. It's popped up again. Let me let you guess where it goes. This time off the light stanchion, but still fouling out of play.
Moore and Gallucci both just putting in a lot of work in this at-bat. This is another one of those where it's punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. See who comes out victorious.
Good job to slow the swing, spoil the changeup that time. Well, the rest of Conference USA at the least is thanking Sorella Gallucci, making Moore throw as many pitches as possible in this Jacksonville State's first game of the week. Got the double bye to reach this stage, and finally Moore wins the battle. What a long one it was, but reached back for a little something extra. Strikes out Gallucci, 2 in the inning. Another 1-2-3 frame, and the Gamecocks are rolling. Halfway through this opener, it's 4-0 Jacksonville State. Blustery conditions at the Delaware Diamond, not just a gentle breeze, a beautiful spring day. Temperatures of the low 60s, sun is out, Liberty fans out as well. They are awaiting the next game. You can see some of the Liberty players in the stands as well as the Flames, who were a big winner yesterday over Louisiana Tech, will take on WKU in the second of 4 that we will play today in this Conference USA Softball Championship. Ashley Phillips ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes against Josie Crossman, top seeded Jacksonville State, getting a run right away in the first inning and then getting 3 more in the second, playing from in front and getting a brilliant pitching performance so far from McKenna Moore. The 2-0 is popped up right side. Castaro there to make the catch, and Phillips retired 1 away. For Delaware, that 3-run second inning, it did seem to appear almost out of nowhere. Credit to the Jacksonville State offense for manufacturing it. Runner at first, 2 outs and an 0-2 count. And then they just went to work. Elrod got hit by a pitch. Now Nowakowski fell behind the count, roped a line drive to center field, and then not one but 2 errors on the play allowed 3 runs to come home. Now Nowakowski circling all the way around, and a 4-0 cushion as a result, as it's 1-1 to Underwood.
It definitely feels worse than it is, right? Josie Crossman still only surrendering 3 hits so far in this game, and not really any loud contact, right? Some sharp line drives, but nothing, deep to the wall. And so, Delaware's just looking to find a way to keep it close so that their offense has enough time to gain momentum, while Jacksonville State is looking to grow that lead.
Communication problems again for Josie Crossman. Saw that yesterday. Saw a bunch of teams deal with it. So Maddie Diamond will switch watches with her. How big a deal do those watches make in terms of pace of play in the sport?
The pace feels about the same, but it's a lot less stressful for the coaching staff in some ways.
Gapper to left center. Underwood really turned on that one. It'll head all the way to the fence. She'll cruise into second standing. And the second hit of the game for J.C. Underwood. A 1-out double here in the 4th inning.
Underwood fired up there, but talking about the signal, the wristwatches, the call watches, normally when you're using signals, number signs, however you're signaling in, somebody or multiple people in the dugout are dedicated to trying to crack the code of what those signs look like, what the pitches are being called. And when both teams are wearing watches, you don't really have any of that. And so maybe that energy can be redirected to other things, other duties in the dugout.
We're going to get a pinch hitter here. Michaela DeVille will hit here for Jacksonville State in place of Haley Cushingberry. So DeVille, the true freshman, has come on here down the stretch, tries to bunt, bunts it foul, third base side. DeVille, an interesting case because McKenna Moore, the Missouri product, they went to Missouri to recruit a pitcher. It's a long trip from Jacksonville State's campus. But while they were there, they said, let's make it 2 for 1. Saw a really talented center fielder and went to work recruiting DeVille, and they think she's going to be a good one in this program for years to come.
It's always nice when you get a little bit more than you bargained for on some of those recruiting trips.
Makes it easy to turn in the receipts from that trip, that's for sure. The Department of Finance says it's 2 balls and a strike to DeVille. Work smarter, not harder, as they say. But DeVille, who is like a sponge in terms of soaking up information, coaching staff just loves her approach. Is now Jen Steele going to come out mid-at-bat. See that a lot with Jen Steele when Josie Crossman is in the circle. There's a open line of communication throughout the outing.
Oftentimes, yeah, she's visiting just to talk about what the pitches are looking like. Maybe they're not landing where she's wanting them positioned, or she's seeing something mechanically that she wants Josie to clean up. And so she's not afraid to come out, slow it down a little bit when it starts to feel like it's going a little bit quickly, and try to redirect or reset the course in the midst of the at-bat.
It's funny, Jen Steele says when she's calling pitches, the way she judges how a pitcher's working, if she's watching the pitch, then something's off. If she's looking at her notes, thinking about what her next pitch call will be, that means she's very comfortable with what the pitcher is doing out there. And that's how she kind of gauges things in her mind. And it does feel like today she's had an eagle's eye on Crossman, who's been working through some things, as that one tapped foul off the bat of DeVille. And it's 2-2 to the pinch hitter.
And it's a little bit tough, Josie Crossman coming from a support role, some cleanup innings last year, to an ace that back-to-back days, right? Trying to reinvent yourself as you go through the lineup a second and a third time. It's a lot of work. And
no play at third base here for Diamond. She has to hit the swinging bunt on the charge and just eats it. And so an infield single and runners at the corners for Jacksonville State.
It's just a lot of work and a lot of expectation to be able to handle that pressure and make your pitches look different but stay sharp. And so Josie Crossman just trying to navigate that process.
So 2 on, 1 down, and back to the top. The conference player of the year, Emma Elrod, with the corners in, and a runner going from first. Schaefer just bluffs a throw towards third, and so DeVille is in scoring position.
DeVille, good speed. Good speed over there at second base now.
Real chance to break this one open for the Gamecocks. Already ahead by 4. We're in the 4th. And that's in for a strike 1-1. Elrod's been a tough out for Crossman, although she hasn't put it in play yet. Just a walk and a hit batter, but scored a run last time. And that last hit batter, especially painful for Crossman. She was ahead in the count, and it came with 2 outs of the inning, and eventually they'd score 3. 1-2 this time to Elrod. Outfield, which had been cheating in a step or two, now backing up a couple strides across the board. 1-2 coming. Swing and a tapper. Boy, she just got a piece. Off the very end of the bat, and that, in a lot of ways, sums up the day it has been for Jacksonville State. Josie Crossman has made some good pitches, and they just keep spoiling.
We've seen some long at-bats. A lot of foul balls.
Needs another good pitch here. And can't quite get it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Elrod. And you'd think base open, don't have to challenge Conference Player of the Year, but you got Nowakowski waiting on deck. Not exactly easy pickings. Popped in the air, shallow left into foul ground. Mulligan is there, makes the catch, tagging at third base is Underwood. She scores, and it's 5-0 Jacksonville State. So an RBI for Elrod. She's been in the thick of everything. You wonder, how do you produce without getting a hit? See the line for Emma Elrod, as she is just a thorn in Delaware's side today.
Well, and Ellie Mulligan, typically with a pretty big arm, throw was a little bit offline, but even still, Underwood's speed, she was going to be safe even with a solid throw.
It's like we're going to get a pitching change here for Delaware. Jen Steele has already been out to the circle once and is out of the dugout again with lineup card in hand. So we will get a change here at the Delaware Diamond. It comes with the Blue Hens trailing by 5 in the 4th inning. And Carly Chalberg, the freshman, will come into the contest. We'll tell you about her numbers when we return. Jacksonville State in control. So Delaware turns it over to a freshman. Carly Chalberg comes into the game trying to stem the tide with 2 outs. Runner at third. Bottom of the 4th inning. Jacksonville State, the regular season champs, up 5-0. And for Chalberg, her postseason debut.
Carly Chalberg, freshman on this roster for the Blue Hens. She's gotten some good work, come in relief, started some games, and Coach Steele said she thought she would be a good matchup for the Jacksonville State team because she can work the upper portion of the strike zone. Jacksonville State particularly strong with their power in the bottom portion of the zone, and so this will be a good mix-up from the lefty Josie Crossman to the righty Carly Chalberg.
And Chalberg, a kid with incredible perspective, has been through so much in her life, multiple surgeries as a kid, and just constantly sick. Wondered whether she would ever reach this point to be able to be playing softball on such a stage. Always had a talent for the sport. Eventually got her healthy enough that she was able to get back and competing and turned into a dominant high school pitcher. Top 50 prospect in the talent-rich state of Texas. So I'll tell you the kind of stuff she has. And Jen Steele looks at her as potentially a future ace for this program as it's 1-1 to Nowakowski. So 2 kids with unbelievable perspective. Chalberg, everything she's been through. Nowakowski, who had a mini stroke as a freshman, open heart surgery later that same year. Fouls one back to the screen again, 1-2. And if this doesn't give you an idea of what kids are capable of, that these two are going toe-to-toe on this stage after everything they have been through. It'll warm your heart. Line drive, center field, base hit, Nowakowski. Another clutch two-out hit as coming home to Phil, and Jacksonville State increases the lead.
And the stories that you were just telling about Carly Chalberg and Nowakowski just indicate, right, how much bigger it is than just the game, right? Softball is a vehicle for these student athletes to learn about themselves, build their character, develop resilience, and those two had resilience prior to, right? But softball, an opportunity for them to see what they truly are capable of.
Amber Reed takes outside, and for those two, I mean, as high stress and high energy as all of this is, and they want to win as much as anybody, you have to wonder the perspective that runs through their mind, and sometimes maybe just a little extra special that they get this chance that you can't take for granted. As she comes back, finds the zone, it's 1-1. Reed grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out swinging. 6 hits today for Jacksonville State have led to 6 runs, plus a couple of defensive miscues for the Blue Hens, as that's blooped to the air, shallow left. Galucci covering all kinds of ground today. Goes and gets another one to finally end the frame. But the Gamecocks able to add to the lead. They score a pair, and after 4, it's Delaware trailing by 6.
Being strong doesn't mean going through it alone.
Mental health matters, just like physical health.
It's okay to feel overwhelmed.
It's okay to ask for help.
Talking to someone can change everything.
Your mind needs care too.
No shame, no stigma, just support.
We're teammates on and off the field.
Your story matters.
You are not alone.
We see you, we support you.
Let's break the silence together.
Mental health is part of the game. Let's continue the
Conversation.
What if the spark you've been chasing found the right place to catch fire? At Jacksonville State University, curiosity becomes action. Ideas get tested, shaped, and launched. Every challenge is a proving ground, and every day, another chance to rise. For dreamers, doers, difference makers, and those who want more than just a degree, where learning, competing, and winning is a Jack's state of mind.
At the University of Delaware, our classrooms are idea incubators. Nearby beaches are our research laboratories. Our Blue Hen spirit leads to bold adventures. We learn, challenge, explore, and triumph together. Because here at UD, nothing is out of reach. No limits, all possibilities. The University of Delaware.
6-0 Jacksonville State leading Delaware. It has been an impressive performance from the top seed, especially McKenna Moore has been keeping Delaware at bay. Batting 3 to this point through 4 innings and jumping ahead after hitter. And a lot to smile about. Jacksonville State pitching staff, 10 shutouts this season. That is top 20 in the country. Impressive stuff from this stable of arms for the Gamecocks. As we said earlier, Moore gets a lot of the accolades as a little punch shot from Caitlin Blazers, caught back of second base on the retreat by Ashley Phillips. 1 pitch, 1 out in the top half of the 5th inning. But it's more than a one-woman staff for this Jacksonville State team. They've got 2 strong starters plus a couple of relievers that can come in as well.
Such an advantage, especially in a deep conference, to have multiple reliable arms that you can go to and keep everybody healthy and keep everybody sharp as you go down the stretch.
Jalea Holmes, their number 2 starters. Bridget Chapman takes one downstairs. Ball 1. Winner of this game is done for the day. They get off until tomorrow at 12:05. Meanwhile, the loser will have a long afternoon of waiting And then we'll have to take on the loser of our next game between WKU and Liberty, with the winner moving on a day and the loser going home. Soft ground ball to second base, and a busy inning continues for Ashley Phillips as Chapman retired, and quickly 2 down.
This is a spot where Delaware needs to really start trying to string some things together. Just the one hit on the day, and McKenna Moore being really efficient with these outs and these innings. And Delaware needs to look to try and extend some of the innings and load some runners onto the bases so that they can try and get something going.
So here's Ellie Mulligan with 2 down, bases empty, and Moore can't quite find the inside corner. Mulligan popped out to third. That was a critical out, looking for that shutdown inning for Jacksonville State after they had taken the lead, bottom 1. It was an adventurous frame, the only true threat that Delaware has had. They popped out to end the inning. In fact, the Blue Hens have not had a base runner since that point. 9 in a row retired here for Moore. Fouled away, and it's 2-1. And again, a play to remember. Bridget Chapman's infield single. Aria Davis, a diving stop deep in the hole, it's short. If that ball gets through, Maddie Diamond at least will try to score from third. Maybe she does. And it changes the tenor of the game. It was a fantastic play from Davis. As the Gamecocks just haven't let Delaware get any momentum since.
Yeah, the defense has been showing up. A lot of fly ball outs. McKenna Moore's been inducing with the spin on her pitches, and Delaware just hasn't quite found the answer for it yet.
3-2 to Mulligan. Not all fly balls are created equal, but these aren't titanic blasts that they just got under a little. These are those spinners that you said that just are kind of dead off the bat. And Delaware offense that's trying to will its way into it, but they've just run into a bit of a buzzsaw to this point. If Mulligan can get them going against Moore. The payoff. Fouled it off her foot. Interesting season for Mulligan. She had a 2-home run game mid-portion of the year that kind of got her going, but hasn't faced a lot of pitchers as good as McKenna Moore. There aren't many pitchers in Conference USA as good as McKenna Moore. That's why she won Pitcher of the Year honors. Check swing. Did she go? No. On appeal, Jacksonville State can't believe it. And it's a full count free pass for Ellie Mulligan.
Tough call. You see Ellie Mulligan shaking her head at the umpire, almost convincing him, selling him on the no-go, but call worked out for the Blue Hens.
Got to be honest, though, if a sales job was going to work, Kaiser was much more assured in her sales job she tried on Jim Cooper as Nankiville popped one foul and had to play third base side. She was crestfallen not to get that call, and it happened to her twice, on the original and then on the appeal. Nankiville 0 for 2, struck out her first time. It was a good battle against Moore. It was an 8-pitch at-bat, but it ended in the K. And then grounded out to Davis at shortstop.
And that play, another nice play by Davis. Had she been half a step further deeper in her setup, she wouldn't have had time to get Allie Nankiville because it had a pretty decent bounce, but she was in the right place at the right time with good speed on her own to make that play.
Jen Steele's been at Delaware 8 years along with much of her coaching staff. And Nankiville, the fastest player that they've ever recruited. And you don't have to take Jen Steele's word for it. She brings numbers to back that up. She'll point to all of the spring test results. Nankiville's numbers are just off the charts. And you can see it. She's hitting 400 despite the fact that her longest ball in the air is about 120 feet. She's going to try here as that one went about 80 and into foul ground. It's still 2-2 to Nankiville.
Allie Nankiville has a knack for putting the ball where people are not standing, and when the defense shifts, she tries to shift her strategy, and so she's definitely learning and growing as this freshman season comes to an end. She's doing a really nice job of developing that skill.
And she's had to do it all while learning to make sure she stays in the box on that slap. It's something that she was dealing with early in the year as that one's outside. In fact, as conference play progressed, every time she came up, as she's walking to the batter's box, instead of her walk-up song, Jen Steele joked all she would hear is the opposing coaches say, she's going to be out of the box. She's going to be out of the box. And they had to work with Nankiville to put that out of her mind and just focus on the task at hand. She pokes that one to third. Excellent hands from Underwood as she makes the play across the diamond to end the inning. It has been a complete performance from the Gamecocks. J.C. Underwood flashing the leather. And Jacksonville State's up 6 after 4.5. Long trip for the Jacksonville State fans, but their Gamecocks have made it worthwhile so far as they are leading Delaware 6-0 as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Good turnout from the Gamecock faithful. Also, a lot of Delaware fans is here as well, which makes sense as the host program this week. It'll be Kaylee Martin leading it off for Jacksonville State, as Chalberg still out there for the Blue Hens. Remember, she entered last inning in place of Josie Crossman, who departed after 3 2/3, allowing 6 runs on 5 hits. One ball and one strike. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Jacksonville State. To keep in mind for Delaware, they've got to watch the run total here, run rule in effect. So if Jacksonville State were to score 2 runs this frame, then the game would be over. Ground ball up the middle. Chalberg couldn't get there. Shiver does to the backhand and gets the out at first. What a play from Katie Shiver.
Katie Shiver just doing it all up the middle for the Blue Hens. Nice job hanging on. She almost lost her footing on the throw, having enough arm to get it over just in time to get the out.
Martin didn't think so. Immediately signaled for her coach to challenge. And we told you the communication line that is open with this team. Julie Bolin agreeing with Martin, immediately calling for the challenge, so they will go to review. It was bang bang at first base. Again, a frame's difference either way, but what an effort by Shivert, as I think she had any chance as far as she had to go to get that one. Let's slow it down here. Good shot from the crew. Think it's that's a quarter frame. That one isn't even a full frame. Does the bottom of that foot hit the base before that ball lands in the glove?
It's about as close as it could get.
Remember, it has to be definitive that the foot got there in time as the call was out on the field. But sure seemed like the ball got there a half frame in front. Shivert, who has never missed a game over the course of her Delaware career. And we talked about her leadership yesterday during the New Mexico State game what she has meant to this team, what she has meant to her younger teammates, but also her fellow seniors. I mean, Sydney Schaefer has talked at great length about what an emotional support that Katie Shivert has been, because when Schaefer first arrived at Delaware, she wasn't of the personality that wanted all of the attention and the limelight. And Shivert kind of helped her work through that, because with the numbers Schaefer put up, she was going to get the attention. And Shivert kind of made her see it's not a bad thing. Embrace it, have fun with it.
Yeah, it's been a really cool process seeing the two of them, plus Kristen Luzon, who have been here anchoring that senior class, grow and develop, both as players, but also just as people, right? And the dynamic of them becoming young adults and trying to find themselves and being able to kind of roll with the punches. And Katie Shivert and Sydney Schaefer and Kristen Luzon all coming out of their shell, finding their own individual ways to lead and impact the team. And it's been really nice to see that development.
Winningest class in program history, 137 wins for those three seniors during their time at the University of Delaware. And we have a call. Martin is convinced she's going to stay at first base. And she will not. The call confirmed, out by a half frame, as close as you could possibly get. What a play, though, from Shivert.
Great play, and you know, I respect the challenge. It's a good idea. They're trying to get out of here with the 8-run victory, and so Coach Bolin going to the monitor. It's close enough. It was worth a shot.
Plus trying to defend her player, who was so adamant that she was safe as well. Here's Aria Davis in for a strike, 0-1. Davis, RBI grounder, her first time up. Story for her today has been her defense. We've already talked about the diving play she made to save a run in the second inning, but has flashed some leather, taking a couple hits away from Delaware hitters outside of that, and now she'll take first base the hard way. She gets hit right in the leg. You can tell that one didn't feel too good right away. A little bit of a hop step there from Davis.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cushion on that lower part of the leg there, and so I'm sure it got some portion of an unfavorable bone.
It comes so far with padding. It's a little bit more flexible, but the speedsters still don't want to pad up too much. They want to take advantage of that ability to get down the line as fast as possible. That one might have caught her square in the knee.
Kneecap, yeah, it looked like it.
Oh, that one hurts right all the way up here in the press box. I could feel the tingle. As away from first base, Davis will start and stop, showing that leg's okay. 1 ball and no strikes to Kaiser.
Can appreciate the toughness we've seen. We've seen quite a few hit by pitches in our games so far in this tournament. One, New Mexico State, Lauren Garcia got hit in the hand yesterday, went back out on defense, and so we're seeing some toughness from these young players.
Well, Lauren Garcia would like that you pointed out that she got hit in the hand. Unfortunately, she didn't get it called that way, as they said it was a foul ball, and that was a big play in that first inning yesterday, as instead of a run forced home, Delaware got out of the bases loaded jam and then played from in front most of the way. 1-1 to Kaiser. As she lifts it in the air, right center field. A little bit of carry. Chapman and Nankiville converge. It's Nankiville cutting in front to make the catch and forcing Davis to scamper back. That was a near collision right there between Chapman and Nankiville.
I'm glad they figured that out at the last second. And you know, the communication needs to be spot on in order to make good plays in the outfield. And Bridget Chapman bailing right at the last second, clearing way for Allie Nankiville.
So here's Phillips, 2 out, runner at first. Has popped out to first both times and takes strike 1 from Chalberg. First time, obviously, facing Chalberg, who entered last inning. A ball and a strike to Phillips. Alexandria, Virginia native. 6 years of varsity softball at the high school level and 6 years of varsity basketball at Alexandria High School, where she set the Alabama state record. Once scored, drove in 8 runs in 1 inning. It's a pretty good inning.
In 1 inning? 2 grand slams?
They did not specify. I'll take the air there for not going the extra level on the research. Google will only take you so far these days. swing and a miss. Chalberg reached back for a little something extra, and a strikeout ends the inning, stranding a runner at first. We head to the 6th inning. Delaware trying to hang tough, down by 6. Perfect day, brochure type of day here at the University of Delaware inside the Nelson Athletics Complex. The Delaware Diamond, host of this year's Conference USA Softball Championship, day 2 of 4. First game of our quadruple header as Katie Shivert leads it off for Delaware, and taking a strike from McKenna Moore, who has been fantastic, has gotten Shivert twice, a fly out to right, a ground out to shortstop. Blue Hens threatened in the 2nd inning, loading the bases, but not much since. As Shivert lifts this one to left field, Haley Cushingberry, who just came back in after she was pinch hit for earlier in the contest. Immediately the ball finds her, and she squeezes the leather for out number 1.
Well, and that fly ball out to left, that's the 9th fly ball out that Delaware has made. And so we talked about McKenna Moore's upspin and how she works a little bit up in the zone. Delaware falling victim to the fly ball today.
Here's Cindy Schaefer taking low and inside. Blue Hens would like to get Schaefer going a little bit. She set the standard so high. It's not like she has been bad, but just not producing at her usual levels here down the stretch against New Mexico State and so far this week, and she ropes one here to left, and that's what Cindy Schaefer does. A line drive single and a 1-out base runner for the Blue Hens.
Appears she was just waiting for you to say the thing.
She did that to me last week too against Western Kentucky in the WKU series. She had been 0 for her previous 7, and then as soon as I mentioned it, she hit a home run. And here she is with a 1-out single, and maybe you can get something jump-started for Delaware. Well, that'll be easier said than done with the way Moore is pitching. Maddie Diamond, the batter, and that's fouled back and out of play. Strike 1. Diamond worked a walk her first time, worked a full count last time, but Moore got her to pop up. The impressive part about McKenna Moore, as you said, you just don't see a lot of squared contact. And even if you do, it doesn't tend to launch against her. Like Schaefer just hit that ball really hard, but a line drive, hard to lift and square at the same time. That's got to drive you power hitters nuts.
Yeah, sometimes that little bit of float that she's putting on some of these pitches, it makes it hard because you feel like you're square and then it just ticks up at the last second. And so while they might be trying to hit it flat, trying to hit it on a line, that little bit of movement brings them underneath the ball and creates that backspin. That's why we've gotten so many really, really high fly balls, is the intersection of barrel and ball there. Not to get too technical, but that's what's happening.
I live and learn. Diamond roped that one, but was out in front foul and is now behind the count 1-2. Moore wants to regroup. Both pitchers have been stymied on that outside corner. You can see the look of disappointment every time they don't get that call. It has not been there all day for either side, but they keep trying to will it to happen. The 2-2. Check swing. They appeal. No go. Full count.
It's a nice take by Maddie Diamond, leaving the rise ball up out of the zone.
So another full count draw. 5-pitch free passer first time. And now the 3-2 outside. Diamond drawing another walk. And Delaware a little life here in this 6th inning.
Coach Boland out of the dugout talking to her catcher Kaiser, trying to figure out where the pitches are missing. Looked like she might have wanted that last pitch from McKenna Moore.
And now she will go out and talk with Moore. The entire infield will join in on the conference as Gianna Castaro will be the batter for Delaware. It feels like a if not now, when type of moment for the Blue Hens. Running out of time, obviously. Not up against it. It's double elimination. This would be Blue Hens' first loss, but if they're going to make some noise in this game, it has to happen in this moment.
Definitely. And at the beginning of this inning, I thought to myself, man, this is the spot where they want to be, leading off with Katie Shivert and Sydney Schaefer and Maddie Diamond, and obviously continuing down. And this is an opportunity for some of those hitters that are a little bit lower in the lineup to keep producing in big moments. I'm thinking, you know, the Bridget Chapmans and the Sorella Galucci's being able to put together some good at-bats late in the game here.
As you saw on your screen, only 6 total base runners all day long. And the one big threat coming in the second when they left them loaded. Ball 1 to Castaro. And now it will be Bolden out to talk. So Moore maybe showing some signs of fatigue, maybe frustration, and not getting that borderline call against Diamond. Whatever it is, I want to nip it in the bud right now. The communication on this team, it is something that the coaching staff noted. We mentioned earlier how it's a player-driven team, but no one shies away from speaking their mind. It's the golden rule philosophy in Jacksonville State. You treat others how you'd like to be treated, but also you're honest with others, and you tell them what they need to hear, and certainly they are willing to do that.
And Coach Boland giving the umpire a little bit of what she thinks he needs to hear on the way back to the dugout there, potentially talking a little bit about where McKenna Moore needs to put pitches in order to get the calls that they're looking for. But, yeah, that player-led culture, it's so strong, right? And you see a lot of teams that have high levels of success, that have that peer-to-peer accountability, and how important it is for them to be able to hold each other accountable, because eventually coaches, you know, they start to go in one ear and out the other sometimes, and player to player, it just feels like it has a different impact.
Beautiful change up on the bounce back from Moore, and it's 2-1 to Castaro. Still a hitter's count for the Delaware first baseman, who pops it foul back over our heads, and the count levels. Loser of this game will have to wait 5 hours until their next contest. They'll play the nightcap around 7:30. They'll face the loser of our next game as Castaro rips it foul third base side. We still have 3 more contests to go. As you see, the folks, not a good view of the playing field down there. You got to keep your head on a swivel anyway, as some foul balls have been heading out that direction. But it'll be Liberty and WKU up next. Off speed, a beauty for strike 3. First backwards K on the card for Moore, and she could not have picked a better time.
McKenna Moore still being really strategic and deliberate about when she deploys that changeup, that off speed. It's a reliable pitch for her, but she uses it as an element of surprise, or at least that's how she's using it today, catching Gianna Castaro off guard there.
So now 2 down, still 2 aboard, and Galucci, the hitter, taking ball 1. Sorella 0 for 2 is popped out to catcher and struck out swinging. Galucci, who is secured her slot in the 6 hole after bouncing around in the order early in the year. 2 balls and no strikes. She's lived in the top 10 in free passes drawn this season. Her keen eye, real weapon for Delaware because she comes to the plate so often with so many on base.
Yeah, she's 0 for 2, but I suspect she's seen the most pitches of any hitter today that we've had. She's had a lot of long at bats. That her last at bat was many foul balls out of an 0-2 count.
It ended a 1-2 strikeout, and I still think she got to double digits in pitches in that AB. She just kept spoiling pitch after pitch. Now the count the other way, and taking all the way looks at a strike. So they had the handcuffs on her, understandably so, trailing by 6 with 4 outs left to work with. Now she'll be looking to drive one. Schaefer at second, Diamond at first. And another changeup for a strike.
3-1 changeup is tough. That's a gutsy pitch from McKenna Moore. A lot of confidence both in her as the pitcher, pitching coach calling that in to call a 3-1 changeup when it's unexpected.
You can see why the coaching staff said she went from gonna be good to is good as the 3-2 fouled back. Now, the funniest part about that was it wasn't so much how she evolved as a pitcher. I mean, she was getting better, but it was more just the realization we don't have to project. She's there now. Payoff, popped away, and out of play again.
Yeah, that's a nice advantage when your adjustment of your expectations is, our expectations have been too low of this player, and they can exceed what we had versus the reverse.
Ready to battle now against Gallucci, but it seems like every time Delaware's made her work, she's responded. Got out of a bases loaded spot in the second, trying to strand a pair here in the 6th inning. And a roller foul as Gallucci just keeps on fighting.
Delaware has been putting that left field line to work. That's like the 10th defender for Jacksonville State today. Saw Western Kentucky, and that's where my brain went. And there they are, down the left field line.
High toppers will play next. Hill toppers, I beg your pardon, will play next. As that one popped up, coming back towards the screen and out of play. And look out to the coaches below who are waiting and scouting for the next game. If their team had seen that, might be giving them a little grief right now. So Gallucci, 4 straight foul balls. And make it 5 out of play.
I think it's important to note, right? Sorella Gallucci is not putting bad swings on these pitches. You can just see how they're spinning off of her barrel because of what McKenna Moore is able to do with ball trajectory and ball path.
Popped up, drifting foul. Will this one be playable? No, off the dugout. And that's so much of what hitting's about. Try to buy time until a pitcher makes a mistake. And Gallucci's certainly borrowing a lot of time right now. Problem for Delaware, McKenna Moore is not making many mistakes. Has it all year long and has been especially strong today. 4 runners on base getting a workout right now. Off again, and they'll have to go back again. Well, Delaware had a 12-pitch at-bat, ended a home run earlier this season. That was Maddie Diamond. Gallucci has gone deeper than that in this AB. Another payoff, and a swing and a miss. Moore gets her to chase up the ladder. Kaiser spikes the ball in celebration. Moore nonchalant, but what an effort. As she gets the strikeout, stranding a pair, and the lead stays at 6, headed bottom 6.
When it comes to the health of you and your family, you want to trust in having the best partner for your well-being. Ranked a top hospital in the region, that's exactly what you'll find at ChristianaCare. Because you deserve excellence from your physician, specialists, nurses, and staff, with safe and convenient ways to get the care you need. And at ChristianaCare, we add in something special: love. It's at the heart of everything we do, and we do it all for the love of health. Your health.
Hey, grab me one too.
Six 0 Jacksonville State lead, showing why they were the regular season champs and why the hardware case got filled up. Just earlier this week, they announced the all-conference teams, and look at the honorees for the Gamecocks, and all of them deserved. It is an impressive team, a complete team, and they are just good at every position.
Right, yeah, that's the thing that's standing out to me is just the scattering of all the positions. I mean, 6 of your players, and you know that's a majority of your starting lineup if you're thinking about it strategically, and so that definitely, it makes sense why they've had so much success with so many solid players in the lineup.
Infield, outfield, catcher, and pitcher all honored, so they've got all bases covered as Underwood takes ball 1 from Chalber. Coach of the year, player of the year, pitcher of the year, freshman of the year. 24-3 in conference during the regular season. They won 42 games overall. Set the tone early, both in the season and in conference play. Got a dramatic win to start the campaign. Went 10 innings to beat Tulsa in the opener. And kind of right from there, got the feeling this has a chance to be something special as it's fouled out of play, 1-2. Chalberg's done a good job out of the bullpen as this lined up the middle, and a diving try. Nankiville can't get there. Underwood thought about it as a wide turn at first, but puts on the brakes and heads back to the bag. It'll be a single and a lead-off base runner as J.C. Underwood comes through.
3-for-3 day for J.C. Underwood, and a couple of nice defensive plays over there at third base. She's locked in and really producing at the bottom portion of this order for Jacksonville State.
And on the other side for Delaware, a tantalizing day for Allie Nankiville, who's had a couple bounces go against her out there in center field. The freshman who is all effort, couldn't quite get to that one. And now a bunt, Cushingberry back in, gets it down. Diamond picks it up, and the sacrifice is good as Underwood moves into scoring position.
Maddie Diamond, always so aggressive defensively, almost takes out her own teammate, Carly Chalberg, trying to go for that bunt.
If you're Delaware, you might want to start coaching the pitchers and catchers. Just get out of the way on all bunts. Diamond is coming down there full speed, trying to take it. As here comes Elrod, who takes outside. Elrod, a very successful day in her own right without a hit. She's got a walk, got hit by a 2-strike pitch, scored a run, and then drove in one with a sac fly. Right down Broadway, strike 1. So important for Jacksonville State here, if they can finish this off, take care of business, regular season champs, you get this win, and now you get the whole rest of the day off. You stay fresh, keep your pitching staff working at full strength, and you don't have to play again until early tomorrow afternoon as a liner goes foul, third base side.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of, staying in the winner's bracket, honestly, is just having fresh legs, having fresh arms day in and day out. That one game a day cadence is really nice. It's also reminiscent of what you have during the regular season. And so it's your normal routine, it's your normal rhythm, and that's a big advantage of staying in the winner's bracket.
And you kind of look at it this way. If you win this one, you just have to win 2 out of 3 to win the whole thing. You can win your next game, get to the championship, or you can lose and then win the game after that. But either way, your path is very clear, and it doesn't seem nearly as daunting. Like the clearest path, obviously, if you just take care of business, bing, bang, boom. As that's in the air, down the line, left, foul ground. Mulligan reaches up, can't get it in front of the fence. Good effort. That's a tough corner down there in left field. That blue turf, there is no difference in texture, so you kind of got to feel where that warning track is by sight or just knowing where you are.
Yeah, and you have that. The cover on the bullpen sometimes creates a little bit of a shadow depending on the angle of the sun, and so you're going from sun to shade, and it can be a little bit tough over there in the corner, and we're going to get another shot at it.
Same exact spot. Mulligan this time couldn't get there as it had home run distance. That's spooky. Just wanted to show you what we were talking about with that shadow that can impact the left fielders. Elrod almost able to end it. Remember, if Jacksonville State scores 2 this inning, Delaware does not get its last at-bat. Called third strike, catches the edge, and Schauberg gets Elrod looking.
Schauberg's doing a really nice job of commanding the zone and mixing her pitches against this Jack State offense. She's done a really nice job coming in relief and kind of shutting down the chaos that was happening for Delaware defensively and settling the defensive group in.
And seeing that pitch called, most of the pitching staffs have been looking for it throughout the day, and they all had to be secretly a little happy to see someone finally get it as ball 1 to Nowakowski. Speaking of big days, a double scored a run, 2 singles, an RBI, 3 hits. This is what Nowakowski does for this Jacksonville State program. As selfless a kid as you'll find, she said when she watches the game from the dugout, she gets more nervous for her teammates at bat than she does for herself. She just wants them to succeed. Says for whatever reason, doesn't have that same impact on me and my results, but I'm living and dying with everything my teammates do.
And that's the level of investment that you see player to player in the Jack State program, and with that culture that they've been able to build, so impactful their relationships with each other.
4-pitch free pass will extend the 6th inning. And it'll bring up Amber Reed, who's hitless in 3 at-bats. But Nowakowski. So we'll get a move here for Jacksonville State. Maddie Mayo going to hit for the Gamecocks. So not a bad idea. Never know who you're going to need over the course of the week. Up 6th inning. Go a little into your bench. Mayo, the transfer out of Florida Atlantic, 2nd season at Jacksonville State. Played just 1 game last year. This is her 26th appearance of this season. And it's at foul third base side. Grew up around the sport. Her dad played in college at Florida Southern. Was a coach, and now here she is, postseason opportunity with her team up by 6. Extra base hit potentially could clinch the game for the Gamecocks. And she lines it foul and is behind the count, 0-2. Liberty thought they found a nice, safe spot down there. It's been anything but for the Flames.
Maybe it's just a little bit of reaction work in the pregame warm-up for them.
Whatever it takes. That coaching staff will leave no stone unturned, no doubt about it, as that's outside. How about how fired up they were after that win last night over Louisiana Tech?
Yeah, resounding win in run rule fashion, dominant from start to finish in the circle and at the plate, and they were really amped up after that one.
They will play next against WKU. It'll get started about a half hour after this one concludes. And a pop-up foul. Schaefer on the chase, tries to dive but can't get there. Good effort from Schaefer. Chalberg appreciates that. That's why the Delaware pitchers love throwing to Sidney Schaefer. Good target. There's not much he won't do to try to get him an out. 1-2 to Mayo. Upstairs. And another Jacksonville State player. Doesn't matter who they turn to. They just don't give up on at-bats. How many times today have Delaware pitchers jumped in front 0-2 or 1-2, and they have just battled and battled and battled. Roller foul.
Yeah, that is a special edge, and it'll start potentially putting pressure on the pitchers, right, to either expand their pitches even further to where they can take them for balls and get back in the count, or maybe make mistakes and leave pitches a little bit too center cut. And so it's a huge advantage to be able to have tenacious hitters in the box.
Got to be so frustrating. Make you start to wonder what you got to do. Full count here to Mayo. Martin waits on deck for the Gamecocks. Up by 6, 2 runs away from securing victory. Penultimate inning if Delaware can get out of it and give themselves one last AB. Roller to third, takes a bad hop on diamond into left field. They're going to wave around Underwood. She scores, and it's 7-0 Jacksonville State.
Nice job by Maddie Mayo coming off the bench, having a really competitive at bat, forcing Carly Chalberg to throw a lot of different pitches and then being able to cash in with some good hard contact to the left side.
Kind of an in-between hop there on diamond. It'll be an error on the third baseman. And now Martin with a chance to end it here. That's in for a strike. Nothing in one. 7-run lead. If you're up by 8 at this stage of the game as the home team, it would end. And that would save an inning off the arm, potentially of McKenna Moore, although there's some activity in the pen if Jacksonville State wants to go there. Roller to short, deep in the hole. Gallucci, long throw. Got her by a half step to end the inning. So a bang-bang play. Gallucci gets the out, and Delaware will get its final at-bat. Last chance time for the Blue Hens, trailing by 7. Conference USA Softball Championship Day 2. First game of 4. Double elimination format. Jacksonville State with a win would move on to tomorrow's winner's side of the bracket. If they win that game at 12:05, they would go to the championship game on Saturday. Meanwhile, if Delaware loses, they'll have to come right back out in 4 hours and take on the loser of our next game between WKU and Liberty. Riley Thomas, the pinch hitter here for the Blue Hens, taking ball 1 from McKenna Moore, looking to nail down another Jacksonville State shutout. Remember, they are top 20 in the country, blanking opponents this season. Thomas takes just out of the zone, ball 2. So both coaching staffs going to the bench, making sure that players are ready if they are called upon, potentially future in this tournament. Meanwhile, Delaware is hoping against hope for something spectacular here as it's 3-0 to Thomas. Riley Thomas, who spent some time as a starter in corner outfield this season, primarily a pinch runner this year for the Blue Hens, and she'll get to run the bases here. She earns her way on with a lead-off walk. So now Bridget Chapman, the batter. Chapman had the home run yesterday and a single today. Hits have been tough to come by for the Blue Hens. Chapman, one of just 2 knocks this afternoon for UD. Off speed, up and away, ball 1. Chapman, the ultimate grinder for Delaware. She does have pop. She can hit it to all fields. But her biggest asset to this Blue Hen team is her mindset, her toughness as a competitor. As she takes a walk after that call didn't go her way. Want to add 1 as Moore bounced back with a good pitch. Out back, 1-2. We talked about how much Chapman means to her teammates and what a good teammate she is. Moore, the one she's facing in the circle, so similar in that regard. Both relatively young players. Chapman a sophomore, Moore a freshman. As a changeup, contact. Moore's high school coach said that in all the years he coached teams, no one cared about her teammates' success more than her own, more than McKenna Moore. And it was funny because Moore got so many of the limelights, the attention, the accolades because of her success. As that's a swing and a miss. That changeup, a big part of the reason why she has fanned 3 of the last 4 batters that she has faced, 6 overall, and that's 1 away in this 7th inning. And she'll have to deal with another pinch hitter here. As you can see, Delaware has been having a hard time finding the timing all day long. So 1 away, and now Kristen Luzon will pinch hit for Delaware and looks at strike 1. But Moore told her local paper during her high school days that I committed early, and I almost regretted doing so, not because I didn't want to be a part of the Jacksonville State program, but because of all the attention that it brought me and the whispers of there's the D1 pitcher out there. And she's going to get a lot of attention here moving forward at the college level as well after the award-winning season that she's put together. As she gets a big cut that comes up empty from Luzon. But when your stars are selfless, good things will happen, and Moore is certainly that. Luzon able to lay off 2-2. The pinch hitter extraordinaire for this Delaware team against the pitching extraordinaire for Jacksonville State. See the big crowd that turned out today in Delaware. Some standing room only down the line. Roller to third. Gobbled up by Underwood. 2 down. Just barely stayed fair. A good job by J.C. Underwood to stick with it. A flawless day defensively for the Gamecocks. And there's 2 down. Well, had a lot of spin on it. And Luzon retired. Last chance time for Delaware. Back to the top, Allie Nankiville. Nankiville 0 for 3. Couple of ground balls, which is normally her path on base. And takes a strike. Jacksonville State playing her uber shallow in the infield. And ground balls have kind of been right at people. One at Underwood, one at Davis. Especially ground balls left side when Nankiville's speed almost always result in hits. But not today. 1-1 to the freshman. Thomas taking second base on the defensive indifference in scoring position with 2 away. Blue Hens trailing by 7. Just out of the zone. Bouncer just out of the reach of Phillips into right center. They'll hold Thomas. But the game continues as Allie Nankiville gets her first hit and the third of the game for Delaware. And high chop. Well, a little slap, and that's how you can take advantage of that infield cheating in if you're Nankiville. So here's Shivert, 0 for 3. Made a fantastic defensive play on her backhand up the middle. Got to keep this game going. Delaware team, the first year in Conference USA, coming over from CAA a season ago. They were the regular season champs in that league last year. So they understand the expectations on the shoulders of Jacksonville State. Blue Hens said, obviously, you wish you would have won the regular season, but we're kind of happy to come into the postseason floating under the radar this year. As it's going to have a conference here in the circle for Jack State. With 2 outs, up 7. They leave no stone unturned. Just make sure everybody's on the same page here. Extended conversation here between the Jacksonville State defense. Wonder what the topic is. Jan Steele, head coach, said, floating under the radar this time of year, the weight of expectations not on the team, it can only help. As this is lifted in the air, left field. Playable should be the ball game. Cushing buries there, squeezes the leather, and the regular season champs take the opener of their Conference USA tournament as they beat Delaware. Another shutout as they win it 7-0. And they will advance to the play tomorrow afternoon at 12:05 Eastern. A win will send them to the championship game on Saturday. So impressive stuff from the Gamecocks. They've earned the right to flex as they get it done here this afternoon. A wire-to-wire victory, scoring a run in the first, getting out of a bases-loaded jam in the second, and ending up with a 7-0 final score. So, as we said, Jacksonville State stays on the winner's side of the bracket, which we take a look at now. And their day is done. They won't have to play until tomorrow. Meanwhile, Delaware will very intently watch the next game as they will take on the loser of WKU and Liberty, which will follow about a half hour from now. And another elimination game later this afternoon as it'll be New Mexico State against Louisiana Tech. So we are standing by to hear from the head coach of the Gamecocks, Julie Boland, who will be chatting with our Dorian Shaw after her team taking care of business in this opener. A reminder, we have another one coming up in about a half hour between WKU and Liberty. Fun day of softball will continue. Dorian Shaw standing by with the head coach of Jacksonville State.
All right, Coach Boland, congratulations on, for you, the opening round win. Talk to us about how you all stayed sharp with that double bye.
Yeah, well, we practiced, of course, but really we stayed sharp mentally. We talk about our mental game a lot, so just staying in the mode of being mentally sharp, being mentally with it, staying where our feet are, and playing for one game at a time.
Awesome. And talk to us about the two big performances. JC Underwood, 3 for 3 with a couple of runs scored, and then McKenna Moore in the circle of the ace.
Yeah, absolutely. JC had a great day at the plate, and she's one of those players late in the game. If you need a base runner, she's going to get on. So to say she's a gamer, that's, you know, as little as I could say about her, but she is showing up every day for us and doing whatever she needs for the team to win. And then McKenna Moore, too, you know, her first time in the Conference USA Championship tournament. So for her to be able to stay on the mound and control her emotions and really expand the strike zone and stay in her game was fantastic to see.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you back tomorrow. Congratulations. Get some rest and enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Dorian. Good stuff as Jacksonville State, their day is done. They will move on to tomorrow, one win away from the championship game. Meanwhile, Delaware, they will have to fight for their lives later this afternoon. They will watch intently our next game between WKU and Liberty. The regular season champs showing exactly why they earned that title. A dominant performance as they beat Delaware 7-0. We're back in about a half hour with much more from the Delaware Diamond. For Dorian Shaw and our entire ESPN Plus crew, I'm Matt Janis. All games airing on the ESPN Network are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.